ABC 27 Digital Now Center. This is Beyond the Forecast with your most accurate local meteorologists.
Hello, everyone. This is meteorologist Dan Tomaso checking in on a Tuesday afternoon. If you've been following me, today's the best my voice has sounded in about a week's time. So I'm feeling better and getting over the flu, but at least for other people, I know this has been the heart of flu season, so hope you're all well and doing okay out there. Obviously, if you're sick on a cold day like today, it's never that fun, and it is certainly very cold, maybe not as cold as the way we started with wind chills below zero at times. High temperatures, though, today at least have climbed into the low 20s, so let's hop into it for today's forecast, but I know what everyone's looking forward to is that chance of a storm in the future, and we'll get into that before we discuss the 7-day forecast. But at least in the near term, again, we are seeing some periods of sunshine, plenty of blue sky, also blue sky here over Hummelstown. The horses trying to stay warm, but also out in the sun as well. Looking at Lancaster, more sunshine there. So from west to east, it's a sunny day, and if you've noticed the flag there in the foreground of the picture, at least for now, we're seeing a lessening of the winds, and I expect that to continue here through this evening. So the satellite radar picture showing clear skies, also clear skies around most of Pennsylvania. Where you don't see clear skies is near the lakes. The lakes are not totally frozen over yet, so still getting bands of lake effect snow for those areas. Now, current temperatures, upper teens and low 20s. This is not warm weather, obviously, but this is warmer than the way we started the day. Winds currently at about 10 miles per hour, if not less. Again, I think this might be overstating it a little bit. I do expect those winds to continue to be less of an issue heading into tonight. So yesterday's high was 34 degrees. We're about 10 to 15 degrees below that. So it was a pretty big drop. Tomorrow we'll be right back into those low and mid-30s. So we'll return closer to normal for tomorrow and even heading into Thursday's forecast. But high pressure keeping us dry and sunny today. Not a lot of weather to speak of right now. Some of our higher impacts in terms of weather are way up in northwestern Canada, so not quite on this map yet. A big area of high pressure developing up that way that'll have an influence on our forecast by the weekend. But in the near term, again, winds will weaken. Not much of a factor through tomorrow. Southerly at about 10 to 20 miles per hour at times, but it'll be more of a milder flow rather than this cold air. Okay. So things turn milder through Wednesday and Thursday, but Friday into the weekend, cold air arrives, and then we're watching this stationary front to our south and moisture coming in from a southern jet stream. This could mean some wintry weather running into the cold air Saturday night into Sunday, but mostly now Sunday into Monday morning. Now, this is a pretty prolonged period of wintry weather. I don't think this is going to be the end-all, be-all solution. Again, it's Tuesday. We're looking ahead to the end of the weekend and early next week, so nearly a full week's time out, but not quite. There will be adjustments yet, but that was the European model forecast for that particular time period. I want to show you what it looks like in the American model or the GFS model because it is not as bullish in bringing the precipitation to the north. It mostly stays to our south. Maybe we get some light snow, but the bullseye stays well to our south. That, I think, is actually a more reasonable representation of what likely could happen. Now, I think we get some snow showers and some accumulating snow out of it, but I'm not sure this is a blockbuster type of storm pattern for us locally. I could be convinced otherwise as we get closer, but generally speaking, this is not a setup where we typically do well in, where the cold air is already here and then there's overrunning moisture into it without the storm lifting over top of us. Again, we will see exactly what happens, but in the near term, again, I think there still could be plenty of changes ahead for us. What I don't think is going to change is once the cold air is here for the weekend, I think it is a cold stretch through the end of the month. So through January 31st, we will likely be colder than average with temperatures in the daytime in the 20s. So I will have more updates on this storm throughout the week. I'm here all week through Friday, so I'll be watching things closely. Here's the 7-day forecast again. Frigid, a good word for the weekend, and also watching what this storm will do heading into Sunday and Monday. Really not a whole lot leading up to it. There could be a couple of stray snow showers or rain showers Wednesday or Thursday, but that is certainly not a large part of the forecast. So again, nothing set in stone here for the end of the 7-day forecast into the weekend. We'll be keeping track of that here for you in the Weather Center, and you can always get new updates as well on our weather discussion, abc27.com, and you can get that through our news and weather apps too. So there's no excuse not to find us. And again, we'll continue to post more updates here on Beyond the Forecast. But for now, I'm meteorologist Dan Tomaso. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Find a way to stay warm. It will be cold again tonight, and likely just as cold as it was here this morning without the wind. So I really wouldn't be surprised that there are some cold weather delays tomorrow. So if you're trying to plan your morning for tomorrow with your kids and getting out to school, etc., just be aware of that. There could be more cold weather delays. All right, that's it for now. Take care. Have a good one.